Hello, my sweet soul sisters and brothers. Mindy here, and we are going to be talking about a conversation that keeps coming up repeatedly for me with clients and with colleagues and friends, and that's about your spiritual power and are you giving it away? And first, I'm going to take a moment to ask a personal request. I live in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, and our community is surrounded with fires right now. I just posted how smoky it is here. There's a fire that started along Interstate 70, has closed down the interstate for the last almost week since Monday. And the fire keeps doubling in size. On Wednesday, it was 3,000 feet, 3,000 acres. Yesterday, it was 6,000 acres. Today, it's 13,000 acres. And it really is a trying time for our community. So I just ask for your prayers and for rain and for our community to be safe. There are people who are being affected this in the hills around us, the mountains around us. Has not reached our town yet, but if you could please send some love and some prayers, I know I would appreciate it, and I'm sure everyone around us would as well. That being said, thank you. Let's talk about our spirits and how we can empower ourselves more. And I want to begin this discussion first and foremost with there is absolutely a higher power that is organizing this universe. You can call it anything you want because the wise know that it is one, yet we all call it by many names. Okay, so there is a God out there. There is a divine feminine out there. There is universal wisdom. There is anything that you like to call it. Okay, let me start with that as my premise, that is a reality. And that is awesome, because without that, our universe would be in chaos. It's the organizing power that keeps things situated and moving forward in the same kind of patterns as before. I mean, look at nature. It's amazing that the flower is always the same flower, even though it plants its seeds every year, right? Like an oak tree doesn't automatically turn into something different because we have this organizing power behind all that is. And I have a deep, loving, faithful relationship with that energy. And I believe everyone should. Now, what I do want to talk about today is how a lot of spiritual teachers out there tell you to put your faith only in this higher power. And, in my world, you can call it by Kali or by Saraswati, Lakshmi, Vishnu, Buddha. You can call it by Shiva. There's so many different names out there for the divine. And a lot of spiritual teachers say, put all of your faith in this. Pray to this God, this goddess, and all will be fine. And that is true and not true. Yes, we have to have faith that there's an organizing principle behind all of this. And we have to have faith that there is joy and love and someone out there supporting us. That's why in the Hindu pantheon, there's said to be 30 million different deities, because we all need our own version. And they all represent the oneness. They all represent the one in a unique flavor, right? It's kind of like the saints from the Christian and Catholic mythology. The saints are a form that we can relate to. Sometimes it's difficult to go to the biggest God and to say, hey, this is exactly what I need, because it's difficult to relate. And so the gods and the goddesses, Jesus, all of them, they're all amazing beings, and they help us to relate to our divinity. Now, what is the problem is when you give all of your power to that. Giving all of your divine power to something outside of you causes problems. What we have to remember is that this isn't an either or game. Okay, this is not either I believe in God or I believe in myself. This is a both and experience. The either or is the old paradigm where you have to believe in this thing, in this methodology, and then you'll be saved. In my opinion, it is a both and. We have to have complete faith in the universe and the divinity of the universe, but we also have to have complete faith that we are a part of that divinity. Because you see, in my opinion and in my view, in my worldview, I believe that God is in everything. In everything. The good stuff, the bad stuff, everything in between, okay? There is divinity in all. And that does not exclude you. You are divine. And you've heard that 1,000 times, I'm sure. If you're in this community, you've heard it before. However, do you believe it? Do you tap into that divinity? What do you do with that divinity? That's what we're going to talk about today, is having faith both in the external world and in the internal world. You are a microcosm of the macrocosm of the universe. So anything that's out there is really, truly inside as well. All the answers that you're seeking, all the questions that you're asking, all the answers lie within. Everything lies within. So I put this post up earlier this week. It says, it all begins and ends in your mind. What you give power has power over you. This has to do with our thoughts. This has to do with who and how we pray. This has to do with where we're putting our energy, what we're believing in. And if you've believed in limiting beliefs in the past, then that's your reality right now. And that's got power over you. If you think you're not enough, then that feeling that you're not enough has power over you. If you give all of your juice, all of your energy to a guru, then that guru has power over you. And the thing about gurus, I have friends who have deep, committed relationships with their gurus, and it's amazing. And it can go a little sour when the guru is not 100% in their divine self, but in their human self. However, it can go really, really well when the guru recognizes their divinity and realizes that they are all beings everywhere. That's the magic that a true guru has. That you can tap into them through an image. You can tap into them through a thought. And that guru is being woken up inside of you. You see, you are the microcosm of the macrocosm. And so anything that exists outside of you also exists inside of you. You're just not feeling it because it's dormant right now. And if it's dormant right now, and you tap into a guru, you tap into a deity, you tap into Jesus's sweet, loving power, that's helping to wake up that power within. Because it is you. It is both and. It is the divinity outside of you, and it is the divinity inside of you. But when you throw your hands up and say, Kali, just if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, just let it happen, and you give up, then you've given your power to Kali. Then you've given your power to Jesus. Then you've given your power to an external form that has your highest good in their hands, and yet you have to co-participate. As much as I love and adore all the deities and love and adore Jesus, Jesus can't do it for me. Saraswati can't do it for me. But I can wake up that divinity within me, their strength, their courage, their vigor, their wisdom, their love inside of me. It might be dormant. It might be dusty and cobwebbed, and I've forgotten about it, but it is there. And so when we tap into this internal strength of divinity, we're tapping into our sweet soul selves. So let's see if we can get in there and tap into that piece of you that is everlasting, that is divine. And we've maybe just not created a strong relationship with that part of ourselves. It's okay. It's not your fault. You weren't taught this stuff in school. And if you grew up in a religion like me, I grew up in Catholicism, there's a lot of good things about Catholicism, and I'm not going to speak poorly about it, but it didn't work for me because it didn't tap into my divinity. It didn't help me understand that I was a part of this. And it does for other people. It just didn't work for me. And so for me, it's so crucial to know that anything that you're praying to exists inside of you as well. And that's the part that's going to give you the encouragement to step forward in love, to take the next step in your relationship, to be able to really open up to a brighter, more brilliant part of you, to be able to show up at work as yourself every day, to be the mother or the father that you know yourself to be able to inspire and influence those around you. It's important for you to be able to tap in to that inner strength. That's the missing link that we all need and can access. Right? So today, let's sit and just see if we can tap into who that is. So let your shoulders relax, maybe give it a little bit of a wiggle. Stretch a bit so that your body can get out of the way and you can go inside. Let's go ahead and breathe a couple extra deep breaths, noticing where that breath is. If it's up here in the chest, encourage it to move a little deeper down into the body, into the belly. Expand the belly with the inhale. And let it contract with the exhale. Just feel into your feet, into your pelvis, sit bones. Feel the space of the spine, of the abdomen, of the chest. Let the head float up atop the neck. And I ask you to go inside, to let go of all the things that are going on the outside, all the distractions, the emails, close down any screens you don't need, turn your phone to do not disturb. Let go of the thoughts of the children. Let go of the thoughts of how you're working or what you have to do to get the kids back to school. Just be here. Breathing. Your body is present, and yet it is not disturbing you. It is harmonious with you. And now with ourselves, we've let go of some of these distractions of the day. Let's let the inner awareness dive in, looking for that part of you that does not change, that part of you that is divine. Who is she? Who is he? Where do you feel that part of you? Can you get a sense of this presence? Most people feel it somewhere in the chest region, in the heart region. Can you feel something present there? It makes me smile when I connect to this piece of me. It is the divinity within. Can you relate to this part of you? What does this part of you look like? And there's no right or wrong answer here. It might look just like you. It might look like light. There's no right or wrong answer. It might look like a divine being that you are familiar with. What does this part of you feel like? Can you tap into the energy of this part of you, this divine soul self? She is there, he is there with you every day. Even when we've forgotten about this part of us, it doesn't change that part of us. It's still waiting for us to wake up, waiting for us to reconnect, to tap in, to believe. This is reality in here. This is so much more real than the world around us. Even the things that are frightening, like a wildfire near your home, it's a part of the changing reality. And it affects you, but it is not everlasting. So feel into this part of you that is everlasting. Can you feel it? Sense it? Does it have a name? Is there a way that you can communicate with it? My name that I've used recently is Sweet Self. My sweet self. Hello. Again, there is no right or wrong answer to what you can call this part of you. If you have a name like Kali, or you have a name like the Jesus within, recognize that this is a part of you. Don't feel as if you're calling this part into you, but you are waking this part up from within you. Feel the microcosm coming inside of you that mirrors the macrocosm outside of you. And notice its power, its vigor, its desire that it has for you. Even ask, sweet self, soul self, what do you want for me today? What do you want for me? Because this part of you only wants the best for you. It has your highest good in mind. It will always lead you in the right direction. It will never lead you astray. You may wonder sometimes, but having full faith and connection to this divinity within leads you always towards your purpose, towards your divinity, towards you making the most of this God-given life. And so I ask you to ask this part of you today, what do you need for this relationship to strengthen? What do you need from me? How can I make you feel more at home in me? It's time to create a stronger relationship with this part of you. A loving and a trusting one. You hear her words. You hear his words on a regular basis. Now acknowledge that you hear those words. I was talking with somebody yesterday, and the thing that she hears a lot is, you're doing too much. You're wearing yourself out. Has anybody heard that before? Yeah. And you say, you hear those words, but now with the developing relationship with this part of you, you say, oh, I heard that. You're right. I am being too hard on myself. I can do better. I will love myself more. Because when I love myself more, it's easier for me to love other people and invite that same love back into me. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you. All right, so with all of that said, realize that this part of you really does want the best for you. And by tapping into and creating a loving, kind, courageous, and truthful, honest relationship with this aspect of you that does not change, you will own your power. You can still pray to other beings. You can still have beautiful little idols around that help you remember your greatness, help you remember that whatever is outside of you is also inside of you. Everything that is outside of you is already inside of you. It's our job to wake it up. This is not an either or game. This is not a you pray outside or you pray inside. This is not a I've got everything and I'm the solution to every single thing that there is to be. This is a relationship. This is a give and take between your inner world and your outer world, between the divine within and the divine without. This is how you become part of the solution. You tap into your soul. And that way we raise the whole freaking world up, one person at a time, you and me together. We begin. And then one other person joins in, and another person joins in, and a rising tide will lift all boats. We can inspire the world through our presence, through our actions. And the more we are tapped in here, the more we can relate to others, understand others. We can own our power. We can use our gifts that we have developed in our life. And we can be a bright, brilliant, shining light for all to see. You have it within you to be even more than you've already become. There is no limit to how amazing you are. Step into your fullness by tapping in to your soul. Remember that you're not alone on this journey. If you want support, I have an amazing program. Schedule a call with me. It's a free hour clarity call. We'll get clear on what's holding you back. We'll get clear on how you're feeling disconnected and why this connection piece is so important, and create a community around you that can support you on this journey, because you are not alone, sweet sister, sweet brother. I do have room left for 10 sweet women in my program that's starting on September 1st, Sacred Fulfillment. And it really is the solution is the answer. The soul is the answer to just about everything that we can come across: our creativity, our prosperity, our abundance, our willingness to have sweet, loving relationships with people in our lives, but also around us. It's our ability to be confident and courageous and to really own who you are. That's what I want for you. So feel free to check it out. And to schedule a clarity call with me if you're not sure that this is for you yet. And even if it's not for you, you still get the clarity call. And I love showing up for my people on those calls, being able to really just love and serve you in only the way that I can. There's so many people out there doing this good work, but if you feel connected with me, I really, truly invite you to schedule a call, to really step into your power. You are amazing. I know you, and you know me. We can do this together. All right. Sweet love to you, my sisters and my brothers. Talk to you soon.